What's going on, guys? This is Red Bull Tanker with Axis and Allies 1914, turn 4 for Italy. It has been quite a turn, to say the least. As you can see, I guess we'll start with the Austro-Hungarian turn. They did attack me in Trieste after I cleared it last turn, and they were able to contest the territory, and Germany brought in 2 infantry to support the Austrians. The Austrians also took all their troops and attempted an attack on Moscow, but the Russians were able to wipe them all out. And then that was pretty much the big things for Austria. Russia then counterattacked in Belarus and Ukraine, and did actually manage to contest those areas. They had a lot of troops, and so they were able to contest the areas until the German turn, when Germany came in and retook those 2 territories. And unfortunately for the Ottomans, who had initially controlled Ukraine, they no longer have, they lost control of Ukraine. Or was that actually, I think it was the Austrians who had actual control of the Ukraine. Anywho, and then over in Western Europe, the Germans attacked the French in Holland and Belgium. And then subsequently, on the French turn, France was able to clear out Belgium of the Germans, but Holland remains contested against the Germans. Let's see here. Big thing too, now that it's turn 4, Germany and France have bought in tanks, trying to get themselves some power up. Continuing sort of an overview, France went into Alsace again, but they went in with their entire army. And let's see, that army now numbers, 17 infantry, 8 artillery, and 2 fighters are now sitting in Alsace. The German army here in the Ruhr is now 13 infantry, 3 artillery, and a fighter. These 2 chip points represent artillery. Because I no longer have any more artillery pieces for the Germans, I'm going to have to figure out a way to get more. Probably go to historical board gaming. Britain, let's see here. Britain consolidated in Persia with most of its forces. It did send 1 lone infantry out into Sevastopol to take it away from the Austrians and give the Russians a little bit of help, though again, it's not going to be all that much. Britain also continues to reinforce Egypt against the stack that the Ottomans are building. The British did attempt to clear out the Germans in Africa, but were unsuccessful, and Angola is now contested, though it should fall next turn. Back to the French quick. The French did liberate Nigeria for the Brits, so Britain gets some extra IPC. And then in Europe, Britain has reinforced Belgium with the French. They're moving their battleship from their Indian Ocean fleet up to where the main Allied fleet is, and they continue to shuttle troops from Canada to Africa. All right. And that should be a brief overview. I suppose I didn't show up here. Germany moved into Karelia and moved their entire fleet to Sea Zone 6. I think they're going to use that as a shelter against the Allied navies. So maybe we'll see a big naval battle this game. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so Italy's turn. Purchases. I had 20 to spend. I spent 18. For 4 infantry and a fighter. Combat. We're going to we're going to attack Trieste again. We're going to use all the units in Trieste. The infantry and fighter in Rome will take one of the transports, And then my infantry and artillery in Egypt will come up there as well. And let me get my sheet, because we actually did the battle last night, but it was too late, so I was too tired to actually do the video then. In total, my forces were able to, so for the air superiority battle, my fighter won. It took 3 rounds of rolling before we actually got the hit. So that was a little nerve-wracking, to say the least, watching those dice roll. And then during their offshore bombardment, they hit one of during their artillery's amphibious assault bombardment, they got one of my infantry. So going into the attack a little bit, how do you want to say it? I went into the attack a little weakened. But then the glory part. The rest of my forces were able to score 11 kills against the Central Powers, which the Central Powers only had 4, 6, 9 units. So I once again was able to clear Trieste and secure that for Italy and get 4 more IPC on that. Oh, I suppose I didn't even say too, France did me a solid, and France liberated Albania again for me. So that was much appreciated. And then on the enemy counterattack, they only scored 5 hits. Well, no, they scored 4 hits altogether. So 1, 2, 3. 4. Right? Yes. So in the end, sorry, got a little confused. Yeah, it should be right. So in the end, I now have, oh, I already chipped that out. Pretty sure of it. I might have to double check and fix it after the American video, but I should have 7 infantry and 7 artillery in, yeah, 7 infantry and 7 artillery in Trieste. And then, let's see here. That was it for combat. Unfortunately, I guess I didn't even say my battleship unfortunately missed. So that sucked. Sorry. Just double checking something. Okay, so then non-combats. My only non-combat is I'm taking this unit in Rome up to Tuscany. Oh, and my fighter is in there. Taking my unit from Rome to Tuscany. Yeah, and then deployments. I am deploying my 4 infantry and fighter into Rome. All right, so then at the end of the turn, I collected 20 IPC and I saved 2. So I will have 22 IPC to spend on turn 5. All right, so that is it for Italy. Game is really starting to heat up. And I will see you guys next time for the U.S. So until then, guys, take care.